Leo, welcome. This is your friendly neighborhood tarot weeder, and your weeder, and your local witch. Okay, this is your November 1st through the 7th, 2019 reading. I hope you're well. We're going to start with one oracle card. It will be the basis of your reading, okay? Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Oh. Slow and steady. Wins a race. And that's not an easy one. Especially for Leo. So slow and steady talks about, well, it's a snail. My gosh, it's a snail. For those of us that are not so patient. Right, Leo? Slow and steady is how we build our lives. If we want to, we build our lives by taking our time, thinking about decisions, accountability, looking at things for what they are, being willing to make sure before we jump in. I know, not as fun, but what if you could pick and choose the things that were worth taking the risk, and other things that weren't? I don't even know why I'm saying that, Leo. Then that might help keep the things that need to be building slowly, like relationships, like trust, like intimacy, without having to jump in and out so quickly. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm not going to take them because those were in my last spread. And I want to make sure that it's not part of that. But they keep trying to flip over. Did you notice that? I want to give it another chance. So we're going to do a few more. But they are sticky. And I don't know if somebody you're having a hard time it's like maybe separating something. Separating yourself. Separating one thing from another. The truth. The facts. Okay. Talk about Nine of Wands reverse. Nine of Wands reverse is, well, okay, so here's an example. You have this wounded warrior. He's fought many battles. And upright, he says, okay, I can go on. I can keep fighting this. I can keep doing this because I believe in what I'm doing, right? Also, he's taking a stand. He's protecting something that is dear to him. When it's reversed, this guy's ready to leave his post. What is no longer dear to you? What is no longer... Is there something that you're... How do I put this? Is there something you're not sure is worth defending? Is it somebody or is it a way of life? You see? Kind of feels like maybe you're questioning what you have defended. I'm wondering if that was the right thing. It's a good place, though. Ace of Cups. Reversed. Well, Ace of Cups reversed talks about, there's not a new start in love. And I don't know if this is something you've been thinking about, wanting a new start in love. A do-over, so to speak. Or maybe a new start in love with somebody else. But because it's reversed, there's a block regarding love, okay? Like love from the divine, like love for yourself. So, blocking love for yourself when you're unable to love yourself and accept yourself for who you are and really know who you are, then it's difficult to actually move forward with that, knowing who you are and what you need and what you want truly. Above the distractions. Wow, that was hard to say. And because you can't really give love to anybody else. You don't have it to spare if you don't have it for you, right? I mean, how can you teach somebody about something you don't know, have the knowledge of? Or give somebody something that you don't have, that is not yours to give? Does that make sense? All right. The Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups verse talks about no more options. There's really no choice now. There's no choice. The choice that you had in love, that you thought you had in love, is no longer there or emotional. There's no choice. Let's get more. The Knight of Wands is, well, this is moving forward in passion. And, sometimes this night is about, wanting some excitement with a young lady or young man with passion. This is about waving your wand and saying, hey, who wants to take me on? But it could be also moving towards life and passion in general. But typically the Knight is somebody that's got a rocket in their pocket, I guess. That's so bad. I'm sorry, Leo. But the High Priestess, well, the High Priestess is about this inner knowing. It's about honoring what you know in your soul. It's about spiritual guidance. It's connected to that higher part of yourself. It's connecting to things that, it's like that, like when you meet somebody and they're really hot and you really want to go after them, but you think, I'm not sure if they're good for me. That would be that voice right there. That if only you could harness that power and pay attention to it and remember to think about it, it could save you a lot of heartache, a lot of drama, right? Maybe some loss even. Well, you may have the strength, after all, Leo, to harness it. Is that something? If somebody could give you and teach you how to harness that strength, what would it be worth for you? This is a Leo card right here. Okay, well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about what you want to defend. Well, looks like you want to defend your future, prosperous future, and you want to move. You want forward movement. You want a promise of abundance. You want, and this is a gift from the divine. Aces are. They're the beginning of a new life and in a new way. This is the beginning of the slow and steady movement. Isn't that beautiful? May know more than you know. Temperance reverse says, there has been imbalance that kept you from healing, growing, prospering, and connecting with yourself. Being in harmony with yourself, right? The world says, well, the old cycle can end, and you can start new. You can start new. Maybe you already have, because you do have that ace there, and you are starting in a slow and steady pace. That the cycle is over. It's a new cycle. And that's beautiful, because she's upright. Do one more card here. The Lover. Movement and choice in love. So let's look at your choices in love. What do you think about that? Let's talk about the Ace of Cups, reversed. All of the emotion is out of that cup. Let's talk about that. Well, the King of Swords is right here. The King of Swords is very powerful. But he's really, he's kind of aloof, you know? And he doesn't engage in arguments. He knows what he knows. Doesn't have to prove it to anybody. You see, he's pretty comfortable there. And that sword he has, it's a sword of truth and knowledge. Now this could represent a masculine air sign. It could also be you embracing this energy. You know, it's a calculated energy. It is. The passion isn't obvious. The emotions are obvious because it's about balancing the information. It's about looking at the information, studying it, and learning. The next card is the Fool. The Fool is about moving forward with what you have learned and knowing and getting, man, I learned so much, I'm ready to get back out there. But this is with no fear because you've learned so much. You know you can handle this round because, well, the cycle has ended. When the cycle ends, you get to move on to the next cycle as the Fool. It's the beginning of your new journey, the new lesson. But now, somebody has that King of Swords under their belt. Somebody also understands that the lack of love in their own life for themselves, well, how that affected the choices in love, right? Okay, so let's get back at it. Let's talk about the Fool's journey here. Well, swift movement. There you go. There's your passion. You see? Weighing, learning, integrating, movement. Nobody said you couldn't be passionate. It's just doing things a little bit smarter. I don't know what that means, Leo, but I hope you do. Moving, swift movement. This could be over the phone, text, whatever. This is forward movement. It's flying out of my hand, right? Okay, one more there. Oh, towards your star, towards your wishes, your wishes, hurts desires, and this is a card of healing. Not only that, Leo, this is a card of your spiritual guidance, listening to that voice, knowing that you're being divinely guided, because, well, you were here to make yourself happy. But it's about the lessons. It's just not about what you want at the moment. I mean, that is important, yes. That's part of the lesson. But a happy life isn't just about the moment now, is it? Okay, now let's talk about the Seven of Cups. Let's talk about feeling like you're out of choices, out of options. Or maybe the choices haven't been so good lately. Whether they're yours or what you're looking at to choose, right? Maybe it's about the Lovers. Lover is over here, and that is a card of making choices about love. Well, the Hierophant reversed talks about not doing things the way people tell you you should do them. Here's an example. Educational system, religion, big business, corporations, not wanting to do things the same way, not wanting to do things based on what other people think you should do. Right? There's something else here. It's not just about the rebellion. I mean, standing our ground is important. But if you just say, I'm not doing things the way people want me to anymore, where's your guidance going to come from? Who's going to guide you? When you haven't got knowledge here yet, it's the spiritual connection. So, it's like a twofold thing. There's nothing wrong with doing things your own way. Nothing wrong at all. I absolutely approve of it. I suggest it. But use your spiritual guidance. But this is reversed. It's disconnected from your higher self. Okay? Anarchy is anarchy. I don't even know that word that well because it means different than we actually think it means. But just to rebel isn't enough. You need to have the reason for it. You need to have... You can be anti something, but what are you going to be pro? Does that make sense? Ten of Pentacles, upright, is about legacy. It's about what do you want to build? What do you want to build? You want to build a family? Do you want to build a trust fund? Do you want to build, I don't know, a corporation in a different way? You want to build a happy life. This is the tangible things. This is looking at what you've built now, and is it something you want to keep? If this is built on the old ways of doing things, on what people told you should do, and it doesn't feel right, maybe that's why you feel those options aren't good. I think that's enough. Six of Swords reversed. Well, it's wanting to move towards something or leave something. But being limited, here's an example. I want to leave my wife, but I'll lose too much money. I want to start my own business, but I barely make it with this job I have. It's the excuses why you cannot instead of the excuses why you can. You see? It's a different way of looking at it. It's what's limiting you from moving on, from moving towards what you want. It's a delay. What is your reason for the delays? Okay? To move towards what you want. And are they good? Are they legitimate? Or are they excuses? The Emperor. Well, for some reason, I feel like this is what you want to be, is an Emperor. And you see yourself here. The Emperor is a master builder. The Emperor takes care of his people. The Emperor is very strategic because it's an Aries card. Aries are strategic. They're fire, but they're strategic. And they're organized. Organization is important to them. That's how they keep things under control and chaos from happening. They're passionate, but they don't show they're stirred. They think about things. They slow and steady it. But they're still cardinal signs. They're the movers. They're the change. They're still the change. You see? It's a different way of looking at the passion, the fire. Okay. So let's talk about the Knight of Wands. Well, the Knight of Wands, next card is delays with what you think you should be receiving. What you think you should be getting back either from people or business or passion. So you have the Knight of Wands going out. Passionate knight. Yet not receiving what you think you should be receiving. Let's get some more information on that. Well, we have the Queen of Swords here. Now this is interesting because that's a counterpart to the King. And if you're embracing this energy right now, well, your partner is not happy. Your partner has had enough. And I'm not sure if she told you off yet, that she's not going to do this anymore, or somebody else that's embracing this energy. And maybe you're both. Maybe you have somebody you need to do this with. Kind of depends on which person this is applying to. But somebody's had enough. Because the way somebody's acting is not allowing her to move forward either. Not allowing her to get what she thinks she deserves. Let's get another card there. Death. I think she's about had enough. Somebody's trying to delay the end of this. So here's the question. What do you believe in? What are you going to fight for? You can't avoid things and have the outcome you want. They have to be dealt with. People need to be considered and heard, even if it's not what you want to hear. Because when the Queen of Swords is reversed, she's still in her truth. She's mad. She just needs to have her say. She needs to defend herself too, you know? And as a partner, we owe that to them. But I know it's a hard place to get there when you have no love, right? Is there any love left here? Is there anything left here? It's a good question, huh? Well, High Priestess says, what do you know? What do you know, Leo? There is love. Somebody still loves her. Somebody may love themselves enough to love her. Maybe that's starting. Maybe somebody's worried that she's going to get to love someone else because she's grown. And even though she may be angry, she's still very loving. She just needs to have her say, right? Two of Pentacles says, somebody stop juggling. What are we juggling? What have we been juggling? So, no longer able to juggle could be it too. Your intuition may be telling you, I can't juggle this anymore. I can't treat people this way anymore. I can't be unfair anymore. 2 jobs, 2 lives, 2 people, 2 relationships. When we juggle, something's got to give. Something will drop eventually. Do you want the choice to choose or not? This could be 2 different people. We have the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Swords could be your wife, your partner. Queen of Cups could be who you want to go to. Still needs to be taken care of. You know that's not right. I mean, I'm not trying to judge. It's right here. It needs to be dealt with. You're limited on options. This is part of the issue here, okay? I'm not. Judgment. This is what's happening. Four of Wands. Are you going to break up the marriage? Are you going to end the relationship? This is a relationship or a home that's no longer happy. And then here's another woman. But we have the King of Swords. Here's the Queen of Pentacles. Let's talk about her. Well, she's a nurturing. She's a perfect wife. Could be somebody embracing this quality. She's a good mom. She can grow anything. She takes care of the money right. Doesn't mess up on the money. She could have her own. She does everything. Everything tangible like that, you know? Nurturing. Good. She's the one that a lot of people want to build with because she has staying power. Kind of slow and steady. Like, you know, wins a race, right? Here comes your tower. Here comes the change. I hope you got strength to either keep it from coming or deal with it when it comes. Because if a decision isn't made, it's coming. It's coming either way. Five of Swords says, it's going to be a battle. And you may think you won. There's going to be major losses. It's going to hurt those involved. Make sure it's worth fighting for. Just what I heard. Nine of Pentacles reverse says, this will stop your forward movement. Yeah. It's also somebody that has an ulterior motive. I'm not sure if you're doing things with an ulterior motive. Man, I don't even want to say this. If there's multiple people that you're seeing, and each one has a different trait that you like, that's how you justify it. That's tough. Maybe you're just a good actor. I don't know. How are you going to walk in your truth? I'd like to know who this is. Okay. Here's the anxiety. Here's the imprisonment. Here's feeling like you can't escape. There it is. Somebody can't escape. Okay? Somebody's blind. And now the sun comes out. Well, okay, so here's what I see here. Wanting to do the right thing, wanting to be the King of Swords, wanting to be the King of Truth, wanting to stand integrity in your integrity. I'll say this is you, Leo. Could be opposite. Like we said, somebody has dreams of what they want to do, wants to move forward, but somebody feels like they can't decide. That each option does not hold all of it. It's like the options have, like they have some but not all. That's the way it feels. But the juggling is going to stop. Whether you choose it or not, it's going to come. It's always better if you choose it But homes will be broken. Engagements, marriages will be broken. Okay? Because it's coming out. It will be revealed. And then things will be better. So, then things will be better. But there's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle. You need to have the strength for it. But this is something that you built because you can't move forward anymore. Everybody's stuck. Everybody's stuck. Oh man. Okay, 30 minutes. So, if I could give you, if your angels and ancestors could give you a piece of advice, what would that be? Embrace the energy of peace. This is a truce. Broken Arrow talks about tribes creating truces with different tribes, Native American. When they created a truce or a treaty, they would break their arrows to say, I will never use this on you or against you because we are working together. I think needs to be considered who you broke that trust with. You have the strength to dig if you want. Would you say you want? You're the strong one. You're the star. I love you, Leo. Take care.